Windows 3.1, and a virtual box. 32 of
Ah,
them.
you and your virtual boxes and Windows 3.1.
It only took me 16 hours to install just one because of the floppy disks.
All right, we are now live on YouTube. Look at that. We got episode 17 of the Linux Tech and Gaming Podcast. I'm super excited to be here. How are you guys doing tonight, Osiris, Atomic?
Horrible.
Horrible. All right,
Yeah, just
Osiris?
Happy to be alive.
All
I'm
right.
here.
All right, and the tweet just went out. I just saw it on my screen. Live discussing Linux Tech and Gaming. Make sure that we're monitoring all of the chats everywhere. I know that it's a little much, but we do have an IRC channel to conveniently have all the chats in one place. If you're into IRC, we're on freenode, and it's right there in the lower left corner of the show if you're watching the video podcast.
I'll see the YouTube link.
irc.freenode.net. Channel is Linux Tech and Gaming. You don't see the YouTube link?
Okay, now I got it. I got it from Twitter, but I didn't see it on the home site.
yeah, it doesn't show up.
Sometimes
For some
the
reason.
live events don't show up. It's kind of weird. YouTube and live streaming still, I don't know, you think they'd take some pointers from some other live streaming sites out there. The whole setup for setting up a live event in YouTube, it seems archaic in my opinion. It just seems like so much work. It gives you a new stream key every time, which maybe is a good thing, you know. I don't know.
For the hackery.
Anyway,
So you don't...
currently we're using all three, Hitbox, Twitch, and YouTube, just so that we can get to the broadest range of audience. That's my goal, anyway. So, let's see here. Today's topics. Well, right away with the show, we like to do a little segment where Atomic covers a game of the week. So, Atomic, what game do you have for us this week?
This week I've got Dynamite Jack. And this game, I want to call it a dungeon crawler, but that's not one of the genre tags that's used on it. But basically, you are a space marine that has been kidnapped and forced to work in an underground mine, and you've plotted your escape, and you're getting the hell out of there. You don't use guns, you use bombs to make your way out.
Okay. Interesting.
You have a lot of natural terrain to go through, enemies such as guards, and wild animals. I don't know what the hell you call them, but they're down there too. And both want to kill you.
All right, sweet. Dynamite Jack.
Yes.
Let's see here. Do we even dare share a stream? Share a screen with the stream, or should we just not even mess with that this week?
Just put it in the same scene.
I could do that as well. This stupid audio bug is the only thing really holding me back with this software. I think it's super solid in every aspect except for the audio bug. I could just, like he just said, I could just add it to over us, you know, over our cameras, but I don't know. I just don't like that solution.
Well,
that's just my opinion.
Like I said, just do the keep on the one scene and put something there.
Right, yeah, I gotcha. I would have had to have set that up ahead of time, though, unfortunately.
So is our audio good?
Microphone check. 1 2 1 2 1 2.
Microphone check. 1 2 1 2.
Good to me.
What do they say in the IRCs? Hello,
IRS.
Hello, Aramel. How is our audios?
Well, you haven't switched a scene yet.
Oh, yeah, I'm not switching the scene. I thought I'm not going to do that.
Oh, well, then we didn't have to worry about the goddamn audio, did we?
No. 'Cause I don't know if I have the podcast sharing set up. I guess we'll just try it. What the hell? Here we go. And you're a little louder than everybody. Is that what you said, Atomic? Can you turn your gain down maybe, or no?
Yeah, let's see. All right, let's try that.
All right. And we have the Dynamite Jack. And I don't know how to spell. Is that the problem here? It could be. Dynamite Jack, here we go. Stream, check it out. And really? What is going on? It doesn't want to play.
Yeah.
What is going on with this tonight?
That
has
been happening. That's been happening.
Oh,
with
wait, it's still down.
Oh,
Something's still downloading in Steam. Something's happening. Things are
Well,
happening.
download.
Listen, the videos in Steam have been playing on and off for me for months.
Well, it's a Flash issue, and I'm pretty sure I solved it in Arch. I'm not sure if I went back and solved it in Xubuntu, because it has to do with having the Flash Lib, the libflashplayer.so in the correct locations for Steam to see it. So I must not have solved it for Xubuntu yet. I don't know.
I've got the Flash player in the correct place, and it still doesn't play correctly for half of the videos. And it's random. It does not play.
Huh. Well,
the player's there. It just doesn't start.
Right.
Jack Love Peter says Steam's video client's been janky. So they're experiencing it also.
All right. Well, then I don't feel so bad. So here you guys. I'm just showing you guys some screenshots of Dynamite Jack. That is the game that Atomic is sharing with us this week. And as he said, as a brave space marine armed with only bombs and a flashlight, you must escape the anathema mines. Anathema. Excuse me. Thank you.
Yeah.
And we just got a retweet from the Linux Gamecast. I appreciate that, Ven. Thank you, good sir. So what else can you tell us about the game, Atomic? How much time did you put in playing it?
I've put in several hours. Let's see, 17 hours so far.
Ooh, that's not just you playing for 10 minutes to talk about it on the show. Nice.
Well,
no, experience.
I've been playing this game since I got into Steam like 2 years ago.
Okay.
Almost 2 years ago now.
Yep.
Because it's one of the first games that I had when I got my first Humble Bundle.
Wait, why the fuck does it look like Master Chief is
I was going to ask the same thing. What is up with the blatant ripoff of Master Chief?
I don't know, but they don't.
Look at that.
They don't look like that in the game.
That's funny.
And then the description says Space Marines.
Right, exactly.
Isn't that what Halo is? Space Marines?
Yeah, pretty sure.
Yeah.
Nice.
I'm just saying.
But the controller does work. It advertises as partial controller support, but it kind of works completely. So, yeah. And it does also have a level editor, which I know that works in Linux, but I don't know how well, because I've just never tried to edit a level myself.
Right.
And you don't have to put in 17 hours to finish playing the game. If you speed run it, you can probably be done in 2 or 3. But there is a very large collection of community levels out there. And yeah, I've put in quite a few hours on those community levels. Some of them are pretty good.
Okay. Actually, you know what? Why don't we take this time to solve the Steam sound issue, the video playback issue right now, live for all of our viewers, just so that they can see the power of Linux and the quick, easy fixes that hopefully will work. Or I'll have egg on my face, but I know exactly what to do, so I will share my screen and show you guys me doing it live right now. What do you think?
Osiris, you get your eggs ready?
Yeah.
Yes, I have 12 cartons of it.
Do you? All right. So let me remove the Steam, and I will add a screen over it, or I'll just add a screen over it right now. Screen capture, gaming screen, boom. We will shrink this down, put this over here, and do that right there, and remove Steam. All right. So basically, you need to put the Live Flash Player 64-bit version within a plugins folder in the hidden Steam folder in your home folder. So all I'm going to do is show hidden files. I'm going to go to my .steam folder. I'm going to look in the bin folder, which you can see is symlinked. So I click there, and now is there a plugins directory? Nope. So I say File, Create Folder, Plugins, create that folder. Now I bring up a terminal, and I do a quick locate for the Live Flash Player. Boom. .so. There is the Live Flash Player. I copy this. Copy, say CP right there, and then I want to put it in home. .steam bin plugins, and I want to put it right there. So notice the command CP, the file I'm copying, and then where I want to put it. Boom, I just put it in there. I have to restart Steam, and we should be golden. If it doesn't work, then that means that this liveflashplayer.so was not the correct one. There might be another liveflashplayer.so file on my system that's named something differently than what I just found. But I'm refiring up Steam right now. There's multiple ways I can do it. I can just right-click here, go to Applications, and hit Games, Steam. We'll do that. That probably is the easiest. It's firing it up. So hopefully you guys watching are seeing the power of Linux, and hopefully this works. You know, I would really love that if this would work.
He's crossing all of his fingers and all of his toes.
I am. Let's see here. Dynamite Jack. Click it. And there we go. Boom. There you go, guys. The power of Linux right there. Is there audio? There is audio. There you go. Boom, guys. Did you see that? I just solved a problem within, what was that, 60 seconds?
Awesome.
Tell me that's not awesome sauce. Tell me that's not frickin' Ubu the tech guru in action. Live. And it, live in front of your eyes. Oh, that just made me feel great. Sorry. It's a good feeling when something works the way it should. I'll be perfectly honest. And sometimes I will admit that doesn't happen in Linux. You'll follow a tip that you found on the internet, and it works for 99 of the people that are on there, and then you're the one person it doesn't work for, and you're like, at that point you're like, all right, well, what the F? It just doesn't work, and whatever, and you don't know why. Anyway, so that's Dynamite Jack. You guys should go check it out if you're interested in this style of game. And thanks for covering that game this week, Atomic. It looks like a decent little, a good time waster. You got bombs and you got a flashlight. Boom.
Oh, it definitely wastes some time.
Right. All right. Well, let's get into this week's topics. The first topic that we have today is Steam World Heist is coming in the spring of 2015. Steam World Heist. Now, for those of you that aren't familiar, it's from the same people that brought you... someone help me out here. Come on, Osiris. No? Yes? It's you were talking about it last week, Atomic, weren't you?
No.
Steam World something. Yeah. I swear it was you, man. Steam World Dig. Jeez.
Yeah, but
Okay.
I've not played either one of those games, so
Well, right.
wasn't me.
I'm just saying. Okay, it's the same people that made Steam World Dig. So it's going to be released in 2015 in the spring. And let's see if it's actually in the. I don't think it's in Steam. Steam World Dig is in Steam, but Steam World Heist is not. So I actually like the game, the way that the graphics are, the style of the game. Basically, it's like a platform mining type adventure game. And what SteamWorld Heist is, it's basically it's a game about space adventures. So, where SteamWorld Dig is, where you dig in mines and stuff and go in this Western style type world, SteamWorld Heist is about space and survival. So this SteamWorld Heist is going to be pretty exciting. And guess what's the best part about it?
Well, it runs on Linux, of course.
Of course. Ba-dum, boom. There you go.
Wowzers.
So I will share a video of it with you guys, just because it is a pretty cool videos on SteamWorld Heist. Hopefully I didn't just live stream something that I shouldn't be.
Yes, you just live streamed your password.
I probably did, right.
Got turn-based combat.
Huh?
Yeah, now we know.
Got turn-based combat.
Now we know the password to your porn folder.
Damn it. Check this out. I mean, I just looking at it, looking at the graphics and stuff, it looks like something that I think I would enjoy.
Well, Rock Paper Shotgun said that SteamWorld Dig was one of the most overlooked games of 2013.
Exactly.
You're not the only one who speaks highly of SteamWorld, I suppose.
I mean, SteamWorld, yeah, I think the graphics look cool. It's just got that, I don't know, it's got the kind of older-ish type look, like Borderlands has, not steampunk, what's like the black edges around
cell
the character?
shading?
Thank you. Almost cell shaded. I don't know if that's the right thing to say there, but I just like the graphics and everything of it and whatnot. So,
Well, you like this because it's a.
Let's see. Yeah.
They're classifying this as a turn-based strategy game. Find
Like
interesting.
a platformer.
Yeah, but it's
Looks like it.
Yeah, it's a platformer. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, but
Based on what we just watched, Yeah,
but that means all turn-based means that it might be a platformer side scroller, but when it comes to battling, you take a shot, you move your people around, they take a shot, they move their people around, then it starts all over again.
Yeah, I hear you. Well, I just thought I would share with everybody. SteamWorld Heist coming to a store near you in 2015 in the spring. Check it out if you're interested. And the next one is a big one, and we got Osiris covering this one. Go ahead, Osiris.
If you were living under a rock, maybe you just don't know anything, or maybe you don't do social network. Metro Redux was released on Linux last week. That would be 2033 and Last Light Redux versions. And what Redux basically means is that at least for 2033, they took the engine of Last Light, the original Last Light, and put the 2033 game on top of it. So with that comes many improvements, including the fact that it runs on Linux, because the Last Light engine ran on Linux and not the 2033 version of it. That would be so the improvements to 2033 were reworked cutscenes, improved lighting, better weather effects, added secrets, weapon customization, and benchmark mode now is available on Linux. That means you can get benchmarking and show everybody the size of your e-ping.
Nice. That I'm most excited about right there. And I am actually, Osiris, showing the live stream 2033 Redux right now. Man, it does look fucking slick. Excuse my language. Hopefully you're over 18.
I just wanted to point out that there does happen to be a rock on my roof.
Hey, Osiris, could you turn your gain down on your mic a little bit? Aramel says you're a little loud. I don't know if that's a thing or not.
All right.
If anybody has any comments ever about the audio, just let us know. We just got a tweet from someone that the audio. Let's see. Yep, is 30% louder on the stream. Thank you for the feedback, Ben. Appreciate it. Hopefully we can get Osiris lowered a little bit.
All right, I lowered it.
And I won't be able to tell on my end because you sound the same, but that doesn't mean you didn't lower it. I can't control you, unfortunately, on my end since we're using Mumble. So that's something I need to look into possibly as a different way of you getting your audio to me. Anyway, so 2033 Redux, Metro Last Light Redux. Man, did you go over all the improvements at Osiris? The improved lighting, the better weather effects, the added secrets. Like, oh my gosh, look at this.
Engine comes some of the I guess perks about Last Light. Last Light gameplay is slightly different.
Yeah.
33 is more of a hardcore or survival game. Last Light got the.
Your gate is cutting you off, actually, Osiris. I think you lowered your gate instead of the gain.
No,
you're being cut off.
I didn't lower the gate.
I'm just saying you're being cut off. Is all I'm saying.
If I turn down the gain, then the gate's gonna. Anyways, I turned it back up.
All right, sweet.
So yeah, so with the Last Light engine being on 2033, the gameplay is slightly changed, but probably I guess for the better. It just depends on who you are and what you like.
Right.
The Redux version of Last Light didn't see that many improvements, but now you get all the DLC and some performance improvements. Hopefully those performance improvements translate on the Linux. I'm doubting that a lot of people who are interested in Last Light are buying the Redux since they probably already have this. I haven't seen very much information on this improvements, these performance improvements.
I actually, as you can see here live, I actually bought the Redux already just because I really enjoyed Metro Last Light, like to the 100th power. I had a blast playing it, so I'll be interested to see. And I never played through on the bonus or where you play through at a hard, play through it and it's harder. Like what's that when you play through it and it's harder? What mode is that called? It's
Ranger mode.
Ranger mode. Thank you. I didn't play through it in Ranger mode. I just played through it regular, but I had a blast playing the game Last Light. So I bought Redux just because Linux, Linux game.
I was mentioning Last Light. If you have the Last Light original version, I'm doubting anybody's buying the Redux version if they already own the Last Light.
Well, I already bought it. I bought it as a pack, so whatever.
Oh, you bought it as a pack? Okay, I thought you bought.
No, I bought it as a pack. Yeah.
Yeah, you're not gonna see much difference.
You can see the bundle right now is $50. I paid $22 when it was on sale, so $22 for both of them.
Well, I bought the originals, 2033 and Last Light, not Redux. Of course, when they were on sale, because I don't pay full price for almost anything. And I'm a little pissed because I haven't even played 2033. Like, not launched it once.
Right, yeah, I haven't even either.
And now, unless I want them to just sit there with no achievements achieved, I've got to go and play the damn thing. And then I got to, if I actually want to, I've got to go and get the Redux and then play it again. Get all the
if you haven't played 2033, 2033, you should really play it. I think it's better than Last Light.
Yeah. Well, technically, it's chronologically earlier, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, 2033 was first, right?
Story-wise.
Right, so I guess we got the audio down pat according to the IRC channel, so awesome. Thanks, guys, for the feedback. What were you going to say, Osiris?
Yeah, I played 2033 all the way through. Definitely a harder game. It's not a what most sequels usually get. They usually get like a. I can't think of the word I'm trying to say, but they're made easier for a more general public, so they can get more sales. Obviously, yeah. The 2033 is more aligned with the with the original book, and you will die a lot, and it will be frustrating, but it's fun.
Yeah,
Then last light.
I remember being there quite a few times where I could not figure out where the damn oxygen was, and I ended up dying, and you kind of just face palm and just man, and then you try to figure out where you went wrong, what path you chose that you shouldn't have chosen.
But
it's I had a great. I think the game is great.
Aslight had better sneaking mechanisms. 2033 with the new engine. Reportedly, the sneaking mechanism on Metro 2033 is better now. So people complained about that because that was actually supposed to be a thing in 2033, but sneaking. I ended up just going through and just blowing everybody away.
Right. What level did you try it on? Difficulty, I mean.
I don't remember. I played this one.
Aramel just brought up a good point in the IRC channel. He says, haha, I see that Metro 2033 for Linux needs a GPU with 2 gig of video memory, but the Windows version only requires 512.
Yeah,
now, I can speak to that. You go ahead first, Atomic.
The RAM requirements for video games just kind of don't mean anything on any game, anywhere.
Well,
they don't.
Okay, I can't speak on that. I can just say that in Linux, they do not have the finite or the granular control over the graphics, the advanced graphics settings like they do in Windows. In Linux, all you get is a freaking 1-bar slider that says, good and bad for graphics settings. So since you don't have that granular control of individual like AA settings and all of these other really fine advanced GPU settings, graphics settings, I think that, I don't know, they just put that on Steam that you need 2 gig to run the game. I guess what Atomic's trying to say is just because you don't have 2 gig, you shouldn't buy means you shouldn't buy the game. You still buy it.
I think they just be pulling numbers out their ass.
Right? Yeah.
I think they really did. There's been many games that set a certain minimum requirement. It was nowhere like people were playing with half that spec, playing it just well. I think that they're obviously part of the gaming industry, and I think software also drives hardware sales. So I wouldn't be surprised if that was a thing between the hardware and software companies.
Right. Yep.
Yeah. The other thing is you're really going to run into a GPU bottleneck before you run into a VRAM bottleneck. And if you somehow magically run into a VRAM bottleneck, you just turn the resolution down.
Right. Yep.
Like, don't run it at 1080p, run it at 720p, and
sure.
There you go.
And have all the frames have all the 60 frames. I remember playing Metro Last Light when I had my HD 7770 and I was live streaming it on my Twitch, and I was actually outputting 720p to my monitor and pushing was it 1080p? No, it was 720p. I was outputting 720p to my monitor, and I was outputting 720p to an Elgato external capture device so that I could record. That's what was doing the live streaming. So I had 2 computers going just so that I could live stream the game, because if I tried live streaming it from the rig I was playing on, it wasn't happening. There's no way that the CPU is powerful enough to play the game at a high enough FPS and live stream it all in the same box. I had to use an external capture device, another computer that did the live streaming. So I only played it at 45 frames per second, Metro Last Light. So I'm actually really excited that I got the Redux, because I want to play it on my new rig, my new gaming rig, and see if I can get all of the 60 FPSs. And I probably, what do you think, Osiris? Do you think I will with the 760 or no? Not on max slider, probably.
I don't have any problems running it on the 760.
You might want to take the slider down just a tiny hair bit.
Yeah, I know. Right.
I mean, even on the Windows platform, Metro is a pretty hard game to run. It's super high settings.
Oh yeah, it's a freaking graphically intense game. I wish it had. Oh, you said it has benchmarks built in now? Is that what you said?
Yeah, but a lot of that has to do with anti-aliasing. Anti-aliasing
Right.
is the one thing that's going to cripple almost every graphics card, depending on the setting.
Right.
Uh,
There,
Yep.
there is actually some setting in Last Light that would prevent any useful benchmarking comparison, because I think someone who is doing a benchmark, it would be Linus or maybe Jay's 2 cents. One of those two did a benchmark, and like it was a 290X or 780 Ti. It was getting down to like 7 frames a second somewhere in the benchmark.
Really?
Yeah,
Holy shit.
at 1080p,
Right.
not 1440 or 4K or anything like that.
Oh my
It was getting down there on
gosh.
1080p.
On a
Like,
780
what?
Ti.
Yeah,
So something's in it with the benchmark
yeah.
that something's up.
It was
Weird.
one of the high-end cards.
I ran
Yeah.
benchmarks on 2033 on Windows, and yeah, it's not an easy game to benchmark. Like it completely crippled, brought it down to its knees.
Right, right.
I haven't tried it on the 780 yet, but I'm pretty sure it's the same thing. But then again, like I said, it makes heavy usage of like anti-aliasing.
Yep. Like I said,
I did it
and
on
none of
Max.
None of those controls are in Linux. The
Yeah, so I don't even know how that
anti-aliasing
works in
controls, all
Linux.
that. Right, right. Yep.
And I'm looking at
If I
some of the comments now, and people are talking about anti-aliasing, and obviously there's nothing you can, unless I guess you hard force it through the NVIDIA control panel. I don't know what you can do about it unless it's in a config file somewhere. So I don't know. Well, I can't even benchmark it because I don't have Redux. I'm not buying it.
See what 4A Games needs to do is take a page from the people who made the Talos principle. There's a game with some fucking options in it.
I'm just showing the live stream Metro Last Light real quick. I wanted to show them the slider in Linux so they can all laugh at it with us. I am getting 62 frames per second, by the way. And the intro is fucking so awesome. The graphics are just, oh my gosh.
With the original Last Light, I was getting probably, with 780, I'm probably getting about 80.
Look at, here you go, guys. There's quality. This is what we get in Linux for adjusting adjusting the graphics settings in Metro Last Light. Oh, like,
my
come on,
God.
game devs. If you're watching this, which I know you're not because we're nobody, but this isn't acceptable. This is 2014. I have a $250 graphics card. Why can I not adjust the settings? Come on now.
So, Ben from Linux Gamecast did a benchmark with his 980
Oh,
on Metro 2033.
That's it. Just kidding. Maxwell for the win. Yeah, go ahead.
Looking at these graphs, and it looks like on low, got, I want to make sure I'm reading this right. What's this? 200?
200 frames per second? Really? Nice. That's impressive.
I average 74 frames per second.
Okay.
Oh, no. Okay, never mind. I was looking at Pedro's and his at the same time. Confused me. Anyways, so he ran his, looks like he ran it at, I don't understand why his chart goes up as the resolution goes up.
Maybe it's
his
a
friends.
score.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that. I thought it was frame. I just assumed it was frames per second. Because.
Oh, yeah, here's the benchmarks. Sure. Nice benchmarks, Ven, by the way. Thank you, good sir, for the benchies. Look at this. Yeah, I'm just sharing it with the live stream. What the hell, why not?
And it does have texture filtering of AF16X and SS8 and anti-aliasing of 4X.
I see that now. So you must be able to adjust it in the comp file, basically. In the config file.
I haven't seen Redux settings. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, actually, you're right. Okay, so I take that back. I haven't opened 2033 Redux or Metro Last Light Redux, so Don't listen to what I just said. It could be you could have granular control over the video settings. I am not aware yet. So, I think that was a great topic for this week, though. Metro Last Light Redux, Metro 2033 Redux. Go get it. Awesome game. If you don't have either already, I definitely would suggest going with the Redux. Obviously, right now you can get them both for $49 on Steam, or you could wait for another sale because they are frequent on Steam. All right. Well, the next up, we got Ubuntu Test Drive. And for all of you out there that are brand new to Linux and have never, ever tried Linux, and you're just messing around, you're playing a game in your Windows computer, and all of a sudden you come across our podcast, or you come across somebody mentioning Linux, and you're like, what is this Linux talk? And you want to test it out, guess what? Now, you don't even... Wait, go ahead, Osiris. Tell us about Test Drive.
It's basically a virtual machine, or... Well, it's a VirtualBox that seems to be streamlined or made easier for people. And it's like its headline is that it's a one-click VirtualBox. So you find you an ISO, I guess, whatever Linux ISO that you want. Say if you want to try Ubuntu 15.04 because you're just like, oh my God, it's all the hypes. And right. You throw it in here, and apparently it should just set itself up without much fuss, unlike VirtualBox.
But okay, one thing that I guess I misunderstood, this is a Linux application already. This isn't a one-click thing that a Windows user could do in Windows.
No.
All right, okay. So I misunderstood what Test Drive was. All right. So you actually have to already be running Linux to try out another distro in your current running distro. So I could see this being really useful, like Osiris said, if you want to try out Fedora 21 or some other distro, you want to just peek at it. You find your ISO, you install Test Drive, and you just, boom, you point it at the ISO, it fires up Fedora 21 workstation, and you're off and running in your VM. For those of you that aren't familiar with setting up VirtualBox and setting up the more the more intricate settings of VirtualBox and stuff.
Be clear, you have to have VirtualBox already. It uses VirtualBox as the back end.
Okay, sure. So this doesn't, when you say sudo apt-get install test drive, it doesn't pull in VirtualBox as a dependent? You don't know?
I don't know if it pulls in VirtualBox as a...
Okay.
It does check for that, and it checks for a certain version, 3.
Okay.
It looks like 3 or 3.1.
Right.
And then it just uses that. But if anybody who's used VirtualBox, sometimes it can be pain in the ass.
3?
That's what it says.
That's because it's Ubuntu. They are kind of behind.
The last time I used Ubuntu was in 2012, I think. And they had 4 at that time.
Yeah, they're on 4.3 right now from the website. So let me just check the Software Center and see what Software Center says. Maybe it's just this app has old dependencies. That would be stupid though.
Oh wow, Test Drive has been out since 2009. I'm sorry, 2010.
Yeah, see
it's an old. Holy cow.
The Ubuntu repos are using 4.3. So that could be a problem.
Well, let's see.
Wait,
this
Test
article
Drive is obviously old. Yeah, the article you're looking at.
Yeah, the article is probably old.
It's from 2010.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just happened upon it and thought it was pretty cool because in case you don't like configuring and setting up shit.
Yep. What I would like to see is a one-click try out Linux while you're already in Windows. I wonder if that's a thing. That would be awesome. It installs VirtualBox in your Windows computer and then, fires up your favorite distro right inside of that VM. That would really be helpful to us. To people like me who's trying to get open source into the eye of, the Windows users.
You can already do that. Ubuntu right there on their install CD has install ISO has something called that thing called? Wooby installer
Oh,
or something?
Wooby. Yeah, Wooby. I thought Wooby was discontinued though.
I don't know. I know you can try it somewhat. And KDE runs on top of Windows, and VirtualBox is free on Windows. Too,
Yep.
also.
Yep. Okay, so I guess Wooby, according to this, is still a thing. I remember it a long time ago. Apparently, though, it does not work on Windows 8, according to the Wooby Wiki, the Wooby guide.
The Wooby wikis.
So if you are interested, if you're a viewer and you don't run Linux currently, and you're on a Windows 7, a Windows XP, or a, God forbid, Windows Vista box, and you want to try out Linux, and you know, not for gaming, though, because you can't game in a virtual machine. I mean, I don't want to get into the technical reasons of maybe why you could game in a virtual machine. That's way beyond the discussion. But if you want to try it out, check out Wooby, and you can, you know, pretty quickly get yourself running Ubuntu while you're already booted into your Windows machine. So,
And if you're running Windows ME, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Can't, yeah, no Wooby for you. And what are you doing?
Go buy a new computer first.
Right, pretty much.
Even XP is not a thing anymore. So if you're running ME,
Yeah, XP. I don't. If you're running XP, you're not even going to be gaming on that computer anymore.
Right. Well,
get to your word processing.
Yes.
get back to your word processing.
I mean, even that's going to be
Open
kind of difficult
your
because you
WordPad.
probably don't have enough memory.
Oh boy. So, hopefully that's a good tip for people. You know, any Windows users that are watching the live stream right now or listening to the show on MP3, you know, definitely give Linux a try. That's all that I'd like to suggest. You know, you might be not even considering trying it because everything just works for you right now. You're happy with your computer, your operating system works for you, everything that you do just works. So you're going to ask me, why would I even want to try Linux? Well, you want to try it because it is another operating system that can most likely do the same thing you're doing now with Windows, depending on your situation, of course. But if you're just a simple internet person, simple word processing person, Facebooking, whatever, social media, and you do some light gaming, you can do all that in Linux right now, today. Most likely on the hardware you have. You know, the Intel driver has come really a long way. AMD drivers will get you basic gaming. NVIDIA drivers, top-notch for gaming. You're going to get the best frames per second with the NVIDIA drivers, the proprietary ones. You know, if you're all about that open source and you want to use, and you're only going to use that, not proprietary, you'll still get so-so gaming, depending on the game. You're not going to get no Metro Last Light or, you know, any of those really demanding games. But open source graphics drivers, you know, they're a thing and they do work. And I'm just saying you should try Linux out. You know, when you go around and you want to upgrade your machine, and you notice that you're comfortable with building one now, and then you build one and you get to that point where you would need an operating system, and you're like, oh man, I just increased my budget by $100, $150, $200, whatever Windows costs when you do upgrade, consider Linux. I strongly suggest you consider it, you give it a try. I'm here to give you some pointers. The ubuntuforums.org are a great resource. You know, if you ever have any questions, IRC is live support. That channel on IRC is full of people helping others convert to Linux. Do you guys have anything to add?
Mint's also a good choice.
Okay.
Say Mint, and I would also say that you decide to try Linux, don't go in there with expectations. That's going to hold you back.
Like our
Yes.
one friend that instantly got into Linux, got to the desktop, and wanted to overvolt and overclock his, you know, GPU and set up fan curves and do all this stuff, right?
Oh, that's not what I meant, but yeah, that too.
Okay.
What I mean is like
Expectations. Okay, go ahead.
certain, like if you go in there expecting it to behave Windows or OS X, it's not, and you're gonna be very, very sad at the
Well,
It will
okay,
do it if you set it up to do it, but that's not what you should be going in there. You should go in there with fresh expectations. You should go in there willing to learn something different because it is something different. It is not the Windows environment. It's not an OS X environment. It will not behave like either of those environments. Not what you should be looking for, anyways. Then you better be looking for some different tool sets. Be open to new tool sets. Using Office. Looking to open Office. If you're using Photoshop, don't listen to anybody who tells you it should run in wine.
GIMP.
GIMP
the GIMPs.
Blender, Scribus. There's just super tons of amounts.
Inkscape is a great Linux, somewhat equivalent to Adobe Illustrator. I didn't say equivalent. I said somewhat equivalent. Basically, it's a vector-based, application. Inkscape is. So I mean, there's a lot of open source utilities out there, open source software, Linux open source software that can most likely get the job done for you, unless you're a professional video person, professional audio person, or I would say that's about it. That's really the only thing. If you're one of those people, then you use the best tool for the job. And sadly, the best tool for the job is not Linux, in my opinion, for audio. That's what Osiris has stated. And for video editing, the capabilities of Kdenlive, it's the most feature-rich video editor in Linux right now today, in my opinion. I don't know how it compares to Lightworks because I haven't used Lightworks. But I will say that everything that I need to do for my video editing can be done in Kdenlive.
Hey, you got to share this link that Atomic put up. Linux is not Windows.
I did. It's on the stream right now. Yep.
Yes, that should be required reading for any new convert.
There you go. Linux
or anyone
is not
just
Windows. Yep.
Or anyone just sticking their foot in the water.
Right.
I think that's honestly, I think that's the biggest hurdle because let's just say you're 25 years old. You spent the last 25 years learning Windows. You know the shortcuts. You consider yourself a power user. And then you're like, okay, I'm going to go try this Linux out because I'm a tech person and I want to try some new tech. And then you're like, okay, so where's my registry?
Yeah.
You're all like, you're all fucked up at that point.
There's no broken Windows registry in Linux.
Okay, then where's my okay, so they're just gonna expect certain things because that's what you learned for your whole entire lifetime. Don't go in there doing that, or you will immediately fail at the gate.
Right. Yep.
Oh, and TechTorrent, yes, that is a raccoon crawling behind Ubu.
Yeah. I live with wild creatures. You just have to live with it. It is a thing. So,
but as I understand it, it is domesticated.
Airmo says that we're frozen. Our cams are frozen.
Oh no, we are.
What?
We're frozen.
Oh, it's only you two. I'm okay.
Ways.
Yeah, right. I wonder if you've been frozen the whole time. I'm not even kidding.
I don't know.
You might be. You might have been, I should say. Let me remove you guys and re-add you. We're almost done with the show anyway. That's funny that we just noticed now. Or that Airmail just noticed now. I think I know what I did. I minimized the two Skype windows. I wonder if... No,
how long did you do that?
Yeah, TechTorrent. Kdenlive is not Vegas. It'll do for most people, and if you're willing to work around, it could even do for more than most people. That's kind of the thing that I find. But then
I don't know. I personally was. Someone said that, that Kdenlive was an equivalent to Sony Vegas.
It's an alternative, not an equivalent.
Oh, okay, gotcha. All right.
That I would agree with. Just like GIMP is No, actually, GIMP is a true equivalent to Photoshop. It just takes more work because Photoshop easifies everything, makes everything super easy. So that's a matter of opinion for the tool user on that point. But Vegas, I mean, Kid in Life can't do what Vegas does.
Yeah.
Not everything. It does most of the thing. It probably does 85-90% of what it does. And then you have the like crashing part of Kid in Live, which has been there forever. It depends on like which effects and stuff you use. It auto crashes and then auto reopens. It's kind of it's kind of funny.
It's a really I will have to say, Caden Live is a little touchy. It's like a woman. You have to be you have to treat it right, and if you don't, it's going to crash on you. But I will say this: it's running rock solid for me in Arch, and it's running rock solid for me in Xubuntu using the versions I'm using, and I didn't even have to compile it. Now the tricky part is because it uses the Melt multimedia framework and FFmpeg framework. I mean FFmpeg, application or tool. Since it uses both of those, which is major video stuff. We're talking the with the transitions and the mixing of video and overlays and transparencies and all that type of stuff. We're not talking about, a word processor app right here. This is video editing is serious stuff when depending on what you're trying to accomplish. Now, if you're having a problem with Caden Live where you can't even import a clip and it's crashing on you, that means that your FFmpeg is or your Melt backend is something's wrong with it. Caden Live has a great bug tracker. I use it all the time. It's on Mantis, and I don't know if you're a power user like me and you know what you're doing and you know why it's crashing. It's easy to fix it. But if you're not a power user, yes, you're right. That is something that is holding Caden Live back. So that's all I have to say about that. I can't. We're not hearing you, Osiris. You were completely cut off.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can. Yep.
If you have a job, say doing video editing, like say you're a wedding video editor, take wedding video, and that's what you do. Probably you're not fixing operating systems, regardless of which operating system.
You just stopped again. I don't know what's going on. We can't hear you, Osiris. We can't hear you, Osiris.
Well, anyway,
yeah. I think maybe we have network issues. I can see the video. I can see him closing and opening his eyes, but I'm not getting any audio from him. Either Pulse Audio is being a bitch right now. So that's pretty much going to cover it for this week. I really enjoyed the interaction that we had with you guys on the stream. We did. Actually, we got a little bit longer of time. Osiris, can you get your mic working again?
Yeah. No,
your mic is. We can't hear you. So the next topic that we're going to cover, your gate is.
Can you hear me?
Yes. Now I can hear you.
All right. I guess.
It's Pulse Audio being a biatch. 4K Linux. We do have some more topics to cover. I thought it was later than it was, but it's not. It's only 8 o'clock. We'll cover this last topic here. And because it's something that I'm super excited about, and it might
not
be
like you're going to get a 4K monitor anytime soon.
Hey, it might be a thing in my life. It might be a thing. 4K for Linux is a thing. Yes, it's so deliciously exciting to talk about 4K gaming, 4K desktop. It's freaking awesome. I love it.
You can't handle all those pixels.
Right? Oh my gosh. How many pixels are there again?
Over 8 million.
8 million pixels on the 4Ks. Oh my gosh.
I think it's like 8.3 megapixels.
Nice. That is
Do the
awesome.
math on that.
And Intel is working hard at improving they're bettering the 4K display support for Xorg and the DisplayPort multi-stream transport. And Osiris can talk a little bit about that. Osiris, go ahead.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear what you're saying. I was looking at the stream.
Oh,
what did you just say?
I was saying that you can talk a little bit about what multi-stream transport is with 4K.
Oh, yeah. So some of the monitors have multiple inputs, basically. I think there's a good number of them, actually. So you can say you have a PlayStation, and you can actually plug your PlayStation in at 1080p, and then have that in the 1080p space, say in one corner, and then have your computer taking up the other amounts of space on it.
Come on now, when did we become console peasants?
Well, it's any DisplayPort input.
You could have another computer then,
Wait,
just for Atomic.
Couldn't it be HDMI, or no? Is it only DisplayPort? Couldn't it be any source? It depends
it's DisplayPort.
how it's set up.
The one that you linked accepts DisplayPort, HDMI, and DVI.
Okay, nice.
But
is awesome.
It probably does not support 4K on DVI and HDMI at 60 hertz.
No.
And
that protocol that you mentioned is a DisplayPort.
We're talking specifically about a protocol. Yeah, we're talking about getting 4 different displays of 1080p within a 4K monitor.
That I don't think that any monitor supports because they just don't have enough inputs. Because I think all of the 4K monitors so far either have 1, 2, or 3 inputs and not 4. I could be wrong about that. There might be one with 4, but
well, even if there's 2, I think that's pretty cool. Like say that I have some other device that I want displayed on my 4K monitor that I want to buy. I can Osiris is telling me that I can plug it into one of the ports on the monitor and have it be in the lower right corner, where my main desktop, the gaming rig that I'm on, is in the lower left corner.
Your monitor would have to be DisplayPort 1. It would have to support DisplayPort 1.2 and daisy chaining.
Okay.
Or you would have to use a DisplayPort hub.
Right. Okay.
So basically, the monitor needs to support it. You have to have the right equipment, et cetera, et cetera,
and et cetera. It's definitely a special, unique situation. Yeah, don't get me wrong. I didn't mean to make it sound like it's just, plug in this and boom, everything just works. But no, I didn't mean to make it sound that way. But I mean, that aside, without talking about that protocol, 4K just by itself is really awesome. There's the Linux Gamecast has been showing a lot of 4K pictures recently because he picked up some 4K panels. So Ven has been, if you're interested in 4K on Linux, Ven has some great posts, I'm sure, over on the Linux Gamecast forums. Go check them out if you're interested in seeing how Linux is with the 4K gaming. I'm sure he's got some benchmarks. I'm sure he's got some screen grabs and some, possibly like me. I know Osiris Atomic. What you want a 4K because you're just running out of room, right? You want more desktop space.
That's my reason. Also, I don't even care about the 4K gaming. It's just that even with 2 or 3 monitors, I find myself needing more real estate.
I have 2 in my setup, and everything that we're doing for the show right now, I still have to put stuff where I don't want to put it. I'd like to put it in a different spot, and I'm out of room. So
So as I'm looking at the camera right now, behind it is a 1280 by 1024 monitor. Next to it is a 1080p monitor. And then over here is a 1366 by 768 El Cheapo monitor that I'm running on my Intel graphics. Yeah, I could replace that with a 4K monitor. Get some more
Yep.
real estate.
So here is some porn for your face organs from Ven Stone. He's got 2033 in 4K here. There you go. I mean, the picture doesn't obviously do it justice because it doesn't look anything different to me, but to Ven, physically right in front of his eyes, I guarantee this just looks freaking stunning. Oh my gosh. I can only imagine. Really, what I should Google right now is 4K desktop pictures. And
Good thing about 4K.
Show you the amount of real estate that you have is just ridiculous.
To put it in words, 4K is 4 1080p monitors in the same monitor.
Right, yeah. For those of you that are still grasping 4K.
And the good thing about 4K gaming is if you have a card that doesn't work, so if you have a card that you're wondering if it'll work on 4K,
yeah.
if it can, you don't have to use anti-aliasing on 4K for many of the games. You could probably shut it all the way off because the pixel density, depending on your screen size, how close you are to the screen, and other factors.
Yep. Well, if you're in the market for a graphics card in Linux, I strongly suggest going with a 750 Ti if you have a lower budget, or the 970. Like, that's it. You definitely want Maxwell. You don't. That's just my opinion.
I would kind of echo that.
Let's see what Osiris's opinion is.
I'd never recommend anybody get old hardware. You get new hardware. There's no reason to get old hardware.
Right. I mean, we're looking at when we talk about pricing. If your budget is if your budget's lower than $120, and you have to buy Kepler, then I would say go GTX 760.
There's no reason to get Kepler for one reason.
Your budget. Well, no,
hold on. For one reason, because the Maxwell undercuts their own Kepler cards. So wait 1 month or 2 months, and the 960 will be out for a cheaper price than the 760.
Sure. Yeah, you're right. Good point. Thank you. Yep. Great point. Yeah. So right now there's 3 Maxwell chipsets out there for the Linuxes because NVIDIA is the current best proprietary supported driver, in my opinion. That's just my opinion. You got the 750 Ti is Maxwell. You got the 970, which is Maxwell, and you got the 980, which is Maxwell. So, any one of those 3 cards is going to give you, in my opinion, the best optimal Linux experience, basically, if you're buying new hardware.
But like Techie Rap pointed out, he bought a 780 for $260. So if you can find used hardware, that's perfectly fine, and that's what you want. I'm just saying what I'm saying is just for new hardware.
Yep.
You got a 780 for $260. That's a steal. And the 780 is about the same as a 970 without the platform improvements like the heat and the power reduction, etc.
I'm actually seeing an IRC. We have a little bit of active chat in the IRC, and Atomic says that current 4K TVs can't do 60 hertz. Really?
They don't support a 60 hertz input.
DisplayPort, they should.
But they don't have DisplayPort. There is not one single TV that has DisplayPort.
I'm with you. Okay, so we're looking at monitors then. All right, gotcha.
Yeah, TVs versus monitors.
Yep. Okay, gotcha. All right.
Yeah, I mean, you can get some real deals on 4K TVs, but you're limited to 30 hertz.
Yep. And HDMI, what is it? 2.
Yeah, why would you want to limit
yourself? What is it? HDMI 2.1 or 2 is what's supposed to support 4K officially?
2.0.
2.0. Okay.
And that is not out yet.
Yep.
Right.
Correct, yeah.
That's a problem.
And then there's the whole NVIDIA driver has to support it as well.
Well, the driver should scale 4K fine.
Well, I'm just saying.
Or are you talking about the HDMI 2.0?
I'm talking about HDMI.
Oh, the HDMI, yeah.
I'm talking not DisplayPort. Yeah, I'm talking HDMI or DVI even. Is DVI ever going to support 60 hertz?
No.
I think they've stopped updating DVI.
Did they? Okay.
Plus, I don't think there's enough bandwidth on DVI, period.
Okay.
Well, there isn't right now, but you know, you can. What they've done with DisplayPort and HDMI is just upgrade the clock speeds every version. They haven't
Right.
really done anything to the hardware.
Right.
But HDMI 1.4, which is what I have on my rig, and it's probably what's going to be on most modern rigs and cards, that supports 4K at 30 hertz, which might be okay for an informational display, but you're not even going to want to run 30 FPS videos on it, because 30 FPS refresh rates on a monitor just do something funky.
Yeah.
I don't
Well,
even
and
know what it is.
actually, if you're there, I will give you a great resource. If you're serious and really into, buying the right thing and being really towards Linux, and you're going to go NVIDIA, there is no better forum to first browse and just double check than the NVIDIA Dev forum. It's filled with people that are very knowledgeable about the NVIDIA Linux driver. Great forums, and I keep clicking on the wrong link here. There we go.
Why do you do that?
It's devtalk.nvidia.com. You scroll down. I mean, this has information about CUDA rendering, CUDA encoding, all the NVIDIA stuffs. OpenGL ES. It's filled with great information. So you click on the Linux section, and you can see currently, apparently, you get DisplayPort 1.2 daisy chaining on the GTX 770. So the driver is actually regressed, meaning that it used to work in a certain version of the NVIDIA driver, and now it doesn't anymore. So it's really filled with great information. devtalk.nvidia.com. Awesome website. Hey, what's up, JJ to the 4884? Thank you for dropping into our IRC channel. How are you tonight? We're just about actually wrapping up the tonight's show. I thought it was an excellent show. I mean, we covered some great topics, had some fun doing it. I mean, that's the point. That's the point, that we wanted to get together. We wanted to talk NVIDIA. I'm sorry. We wanted to talk Linux gaming. We wanted to talk Linux technologies, whatever you want to say. I'm a huge proponent of open source. I'm a huge proponent of Linux. A Linux advocate all the way.
So Ben says his 980 has 4 display ports, and the reference 980 I'm looking at has 3 display ports and 1 HDMI, 1 DVI. So if you go if you're running 4K, you really almost need to go to the new stuff also.
Right, and and that's something to always consider when you're buying any hardware. Think about your upgrade path. So think that you're going to have this device for, say, 5 years. I mean, that's an exaggeration, but what I'm trying to get at is think for the future whenever you buy any hardware, and that's especially important for the graphics card, especially right where at this point in time where we're at with the transition from 1080p to 4K. Buying the right graphics card up front is going to save you so much money in the future. We had Osiris had given a viewer a PC part picker list of components to purchase for. It was going to be specifically a Linux gaming box. He gave us a budget. We gave him the exact PC part picker list to get. And for whatever reason, the user chose to, just change out a few of the components, and so now he doesn't have as good of a gaming experience because he changed some of the components. I don't need to go into the specifics, but it's all user choice. Obviously, the user's going to do what they want to do. But when you ask for our advice on something, it's we're giving you the best advice because of our experience. That's all. And buying a graphics card and future-proofing it is something that's most important.
I gotta interject my disagreement with future proofing. No such thing. Can't do it.
Well, okay, that's your opinion. You can't future-proof it forever.
You can't future-proof it for 3 years. Not on gaming hardware.
You can make
Okay,
it
fine.
slightly future resistant.
Yes, thank
three-
you. Thank you. Atomic.
3 years is 3 to 5 years is pretty much what you're going to get out of any gaming, and most hardcore die-hard gamers are not even using it that long. Like just for example, FreeSync. We don't know when it's coming out. Should be out early Q1 next year. Nobody has that. Guess what? You go buy a 290X today. Bam! You're like, I got the awesomest, bestest thing I ever seen in my life. Even if you go buy a 980 today, best video card on the market, hands down, can't be disputed. The numbers don't lie. And guess what? We don't know if it'll work with FreeSync or not. FreeSync comes out in 2 months, and you're like, oh, no FreeSync for whatever reason.
But it'll have G-Sync.
Yeah, and then you got to pay that premium for G-Sync.
Right.
So there's always going to be a gotcha and a thing that in gaming hardware that's never going to make it future-proof. Never. It depends on what your expectations are. It depends on where you sit on the whole matter. Me, it needs to be 1080p or better, 60 frames per second or better. Now, if that's what you aim for, then yes, you can make it future resistant.
Right. Yeah. I'm just saying it's something that, you know, when you're looking to buy a graphics card, especially, there's, you know, major factors in your choice, and one of them is the future. So you shouldn't just look at your current budget. Consider the future is all. That's all that I was trying to, you know, point out.
I mean, like, some people have been super, super happy with the 750 Ti. I could never be happy with the 750 Ti. But it just depends on who you are.
Atomic.
Well, I mean, yeah, I want something a lot faster, but
it's serving your purpose, right? You've had it.
It
for
is
how
definitely
long? Serving it. Yeah, you've had it for
4 or 5 months now.
4 or 5 months. Yep.
And it pretty much plays everything, right?
Yeah, I mean, Borderlands does about 45 FPS. That right now is about the heaviest game that I'm playing.
And is that acceptable to you?
Yeah.
See, that's great. See, for me, it'd be like needles in my eyes.
Well,
I want 60. Right? I want 144. You know?
Yeah, right. But, yeah. So when Atomic gets his 1440 panel, he's going to also have to make another purchase, right?
Well, you know, eventually, but the panel comes first. I do want to say though about the 750 Ti. I've been trying to overclock it, and mine doesn't have a whole lot of overclocking headroom. But that's because this particular card, and I'm going to back down on my recommendation of this card. I would actually tell you to get a cheaper card at this point.
Oh.
I have the EVGA 750 Ti for the win, and it has a... I purchased this one because it's one of the few 750 Tis with a 6-pin PCIe power connector. And I chose that because I thought it would give me more power and more overclocking headroom, but the BIOS is actually locked to use less power than the card can get from the motherboard.
Sounds like you're going to flash the firmware.
I already did, and
really?
So far I haven't figured out. They also lock the voltage. I've actually got the thing unlocked on the TDP side, so now it's a little freer with the TDP.
Okay.
But voltages are still locked, and I haven't figured out the specific parameter I need to change to change the voltage on the core. And I can get a little tiny bit of overclock, like out of the box, the card will run up to 1320 megahertz. That's above the rated clock, of course, but that's the highest boost clock it gets on its own. And I get about 1360, 1380, and then it becomes unstable and my benchmarks start crashing. So it needs more voltage. And I looked at the ASIC score for my particular card, and it's kind of on the low end, so it's not really a good overclocker.
Yeah, I was going to say, it sounds like you just lost the lottery.
Yeah, I lost the silicon lottery. So mine needs more voltage, and I haven't figured out how to give it more voltage yet. So if I were buying, again, knowing this, I probably would have gotten the EVGA 750 Ti with the single fan ACX cooler.
Oh,
Same
okay.
same basic card.
Yep,
It'll probably
showing the
overclock.
stream. Yeah, I'm showing the stream. The superclocked version or the non-superclocked version?
Well, definitely super clocked.
Okay, all right.
Because they have 4 different ones there. They have
Yes, I'm showing the stream. Yep, and there's a $10 difference between the superclocked and non-superclocked.
Yeah, they have 2 with a single fan and 2
Yep.
with double fans. Get the super clocked with the single fan.
Okay.
It'll probably do the same thing as what my card's doing, and
Well, then maybe
it'll-
wait. So are we maybe recommending not EVGA? Is MSI any different?
well, what
Or you know what I mean?
the thing about this specific card, and it's only one of the 4 cards that you're showing right now. The super clocked ACX cooled one has a 6-pin power connector. I think one other 750 Ti by another manufacturer might have a 6-pin, but almost none of them have 6 pins, so they're limited to the motherboard power.
Right. But
And-
that's I think that was one of the selling points, I'd say, of Maxwell. It's got such a lower power draw, does it not?
Right,
Yeah.
right. But that's why I selected my particular card. That's why I paid more for it, was to have that power connector, so I could put more power into it and, overclock it a little harder.
Sure.
But
And it ended up doing exactly opposite of what your goal was.
yeah, it's
That's
still it's still below the level that you can get off the motherboard.
Wait, and there's not even another 750 Ti by anyone anyway, is there?
Oh yeah, all the manufacturers are making them.
Why am I not?
Yeah,
Why am I not seeing-
EVGA is just the monster in the room when it comes to 750s.
Well, you look at on PC
MSI
Parts
has
Picker?
one.
No, I'm
Some other
on,
people.
I'm on freaking Google.
Because if you search Google, everybody is going to turn up results for EVGA because that's the most clicked on thing.
Oh yeah, okay. Oh yeah, here's an Asus one. Okay, I gotcha. Asus,
I wanna-
Asus, whatever.
I want to reference some of these questions in the chat.
Yeah, go for it.
2K, as far as 2K is definitely a much easier upgrade option than 4K, especially depending on your current setup.
What is 2K?
I think that's not 1440, the one up from that. I can't never remember.
2560 by 1600?
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, it's 1600p.
Well, I think it's just marketing speak, really.
Yeah, exactly. That's something that I've been running into.
Like 4K is not even 4K. That's not even 4,000. So, I mean, there's 2 different standards of 4K, so it depends on which one you're referring to.
Yeah, I'm showing the stream right now. All of the freaking confusing bullshit resolutions, right now.
But,
It's really easy for me because I just go by the P standard. You got 1080p,
Yes.
right.
you got 1440, 1600p, and you got 2160p.
But for gaming, I would highly recommend going to 1440 or 1600 over 4K, depending on what you have, how much money you're willing to spend, and etc. 4K is definitely going to be it's going to cost you some money. It's going to cost you the most amount, obviously. You could probably work out 1440 with what you have, depending on what you have. If you have anything better than a 770 or up, you should be able to do 1440 on most AAA games without too much problems.
Right.
And then to answer the question about doesn't it pull power from the PCI Express slot? Yes, it does, but usually the 12 volts that are coming in directly off the PSU stabilizes the card when it comes to overclocking
Right.
and stuff like that.
Yeah. I mean, if you're going to do overclocking, yeah, you want external power connected to it. I mean,
Right.
The point of the 750, I think, was the fact that you didn't need to connect external power, and you could, you don't need a PSU that has the 6-pin in it, right? I mean, isn't that a draw? I mean, that's a selling point, I would say.
For the most part, yeah, that is the selling point of the card.
Right. It's got low power draw, and it can just work.
I agree with Max CFM. If you want more than 100 FPS or 100 hertz, like if you want 122 hertz monitors and stuff, it's probably easier just to stick with 1080p. If you're one of those FPS guys, I would stick with 1080p.
Well, if we're
Which chat is he in? Max CFM.
He's on Hitbox.
Hitbox, okay.
I actually want to
Go ahead,
point out something here. I benchmarked, well, not benchmark, but just ran Team Fortress 2 on the 750 Ti. At 1080p, it's banging off the 300 frame per second limiter of the engine. So I would say
right.
if Team Fortress 2 is your main squeeze, get a 750 Ti and the 1440 panel,
and you're good.
And
end of the day or end of story, right?
Yes,
definitely.
Yeah, for competitive gaming, 144 hertz 1440 is pretty much the go-to
standard. Yeah.
Well, actually, I think competitive they're just still on 1080p.
Probably. Yeah, I don't even think.
No, a lot of I don't know. I don't know about each venue, but 1440 is what a lot of CS:GO people are talking about.
Okay, sure.
Well, CS:GO is also the source engine.
Yeah, it's easy.
Modified.
Yeah, it's super easy.
So,
right.
you're going to get frame rates probably double your Call of Duties and Battlefields and all that shit.
do. And for those of you in the audio podcast and you're just listening, I am showing everybody all of the 750, all of the GTX 750s. So I misspoke before. Asus makes one, Gigabit makes one, MSI makes one, PNY even makes one, and Zotac. So, and that's according to PC Part Picker. So there's a wide variety of 750s, and you can get as cheap a one as $79. That's insane. That's from EVGA. It's got the ACX cooler on it. Boom, right there, $80. Like what? You can get into a 750 for $80? If I was to build somebody a rig right now and they had a tiny, tiny budget, that'd be the card I go with. Hands down,
Oh yeah.
Specifically for Linux, anyway. Everything that we talk about on our show is all, just to make this clear, is always directed at Linux. We don't talk about that other stuff.
He said philosophy on water cooling. Yes, Linux gaming can have water cooling because here is a water block, and no, water cooling is not for regular people because it is a huge waste of money. So if you value your money, don't do it.
Yes.
If you think it's cool and you just want to overclock and have fun and make your PC look like water cooled PC for no other reason than that, yes, it's an awesome thing.
Well, it's going to lower your temps. You got to say that.
No, it's not. Well, it's going to lower your hardware temps. Yes, it's going to lower your hardware temps. A lot of people. I thought you meant ambient temps. No,
of course not. I meant GPU and CPU temps. Depending.
How many people really need their temps lowered?
Right. I understand. Yeah.
Most stuff operates within spec. No problems. No issues. Even if you overclock it, even on my Hyper 212, I can overclock my i5 respectably well. Look at our friend King's Cry. He overclocked his 770s on air, and completely beast moded the hardware bot scores. So it depends. It just depends on what you like. I think water cooling is cool because it has benefits. Like if you don't want that big ass air sink hanging off your computer, like because it might get knocked around or whatever reason, then you might want a water cooler. Or there's several reasons. But do keep in mind it's a waste of money. You're going to be losing more money than benefits you will be gaining.
Good point.
And I will speak to that. I'm currently planning a water cooling loop for my rig. And just so far, I don't have a GPU block for one of the two GPUs that I plan on having in there. I have not added the radiators yet, I don't believe. And the cart is already over $700.
Yeah, I'm not spending that much. No, I'm gonna go with I'm probably gonna go to about $300 budget, $400. All right, but that's all. I mean, I got lucky and came across a water block too. That knocked off a good chunk of that cash. So Yeah, it's not worth it if you're just wanting to dabble. It's not something that you dabble in. You're gonna spend a lot of money.
Yes, Android is a form of Linux, technically. It's a form of Linux. Yes. The mobile market is not ready. I mean, the mobile market is not ready for what 4K requires is probably H.265 and or VP9, and the mobile market is not ready for that yet.
What are you thinking
really,
of?
none of it's ready for H.265 and VP9. I've been researching it for the last week and a half, and streaming H.265 live and VP9 is not a thing yet, just because of the simple fact that the technology in the browsers and on the mobile platform isn't there yet. Once that's there, then we'll start seeing H.265 and VP9 catching on more.
I have a question. Why does anybody need 4K on a 5-inch phone?
Right.
I'm just saying. There's a point where you cross the threshold where pixel DPI isn't a problem anymore.
Are we talking about watching 4K content?
Yes. You're watching 4K content.
Yeah, why would you do that?
I have no idea.
Besides using up all your bandwidth in the United States, that's a thing because it costs a lot of money.
No, wrong. Bandwidth is actually cut in half.
No, I'm talking about. Okay, that doesn't matter.
The bandwidth
Well,
will be the same.
Okay,
Cyrus.
that don't matter.
4K
I don't want to go into
bandwidth-
that.
Well, I'm just
but
saying.
why do you need 4K on your phone? Like it's
Just
a
because
5-inch phone.
Because it looks so awesome. I don't know. I'm just saying.
No, it doesn't. Not on a 5-inch phone. You can't even see the difference between like say 1080 and 4K at 5 inches at 2 feet away. Let's just say you're saying and you put your phone in your lap, you're riding in the car, and it's about 1.5 to 2 foot away. How could you tell the difference? I don't think it's possible. Then again, everybody's going to always argue that it's always physically possible. Yeah,
Right.
I don't.
So what I'm just trying to say is, HVEC and WebM are the new it's the hottest talk in the industry right now for digital media, distribution, whether it's live or video on demand. And if you want to see or if you want to see that in action, you can currently opt in for the HTML5 on YouTube, and you can watch all of the glory that is HTML5.
JJ just said that 4K might be a thing for mobiles for Oculus Rift, which
Yeah, I could see that, but I don't know if I call that mobile.
Well,
I mean, yeah, it's mobile.
you know the new Oculus Rift, the development kit 2, that's actually just using a 1080p panel. It's using a 1080p panel direct from a cell phone.
Wow.
Oh, is it?
Holy cow.
Now that would be a reason to do it. Or if you was to hook it to your TV or something. But can't nobody tell me 4K on 5-inch screens is a thing. It's not a thing.
Right.
Not unless you're Superman. You got like some kind of special vision.
Right. And, well, for Osiris and Atomic can't see what I'm live streaming, but here it is, guys. This is our website.
Why can't we?
I'm
looking at it.
I'm just saying, you guys don't see what I'm streaming unless you're watching the stream, and I didn't.
Oh, yeah.
So here it is. We're finally announcing the website live right now during our live stream, because we've been putting in a lot of hard work into the website, and we think we have it to a point where we'd like to have users start interacting with it. And it's still under construction. I will say that. There are a few things that still need work. So if you do use the website, please keep that in mind. If you run into something and it's an issue, hit me up on Twitter. Let me know. And most likely I'll tell you, yep, I already know that. We're working on it. So, there's only 24 hours in the day. Each of us have family. Each of us have jobs. Each of us have responsibilities that we have to take care of. This is just a hobby for us. So the little bit of time that we get to do on the website is what you see right now. And we're still working on it. So I'm super excited about the website. We have RSS feeds for video. We have RSS feeds for audio. The video RSS feed is still under construction. I will say that right up front. But it's there. It's to the point where we'd like some feedback from our users, from our viewers of the stream. We have what are you laughing at?
Take Torrance post on Hitbox. He said, my guy, I totally had no idea you were going to launch the site.
Yeah, we've been putting in work. That's all I can say. And I will say Osiris is the one that really, really has been putting in the a lot of the work. And Atomic's obviously doing work. All three of us are doing work. And this idea of the podcast was Osiris's idea. He said, hey, we have a great dynamic. We have fun gaming. Do you want to do a podcast? And I instantly was like, hell yeah, I want to do a podcast. I think it would be a lot of fun, And so hopefully, we grow with you guys. We appreciate each and every one of you in the stream right now. We appreciate all of you on whatever channel you're on, Hitbox, Twitch, or YouTube. This is a growing experience. We'll hopefully grow and make it better. And the future is bright, is all I'm saying. I'm super excited about this. And what is Osiris showing us? Graphics? What is that? A logo?
No, they're just case badges while you're talking.
Oh, case badges. Gotcha. All right.
I have ADD. Sorry. I have to do something.
So, we got, hopefully you guys interact with the site, check it out, and let us know, anything that you find. And that's going to wrap up the show. Don't forget that we do have a Steam group, and that is Linux Tech and Gaming on Steam. We would love for you guys to come on over, and I'm trying to quickly get it open here on the stream. There it is. There's our group. And, you can interact with us. We currently have 32 members. All of this is really new. We're only at episode 17. And because of others in the podcasting scene, we've been able to take little bits from here and there and make it the best that we possibly can, or attempt to. And we're just trying to have fun, talk about Linux gaming, talk about Linux technology, and have a blast doing it. Is there anything else that you guys want to add before we call it a show?
Let's see. Did we want to talk about our system specs?
Let's do it.
That's up to you guys, I guess. We're at an hour and 39 minutes.
Oh, snap.
Yeah, so I think we're running a little long because...
Maybe next week?
Yeah, we could probably talk about our specs next week.
Okay.
So if you're interested in getting in touch with us, if you're on YouTube, all of our social media links are down below in the description. If you're on Hitbox or Twitch, you can find our information now on the website. And, the easiest way to get in touch with me is on Twitter. If it's just a one-line sentence and you'd like to speak with me further, maybe get some assistance or an opinion on something, hit me up on Twitter. I usually am on it all day long. I'm really a mobile.
He's a Twitter whore.
I am, basically, yeah.
Yes, he is.
He's approaching or has exceeded 60,000 tweets.
Yes, and how long you been on Twitter?
I'm a social media wizard. I'll tell you that right now.
A wizard is a little bit different from a whore.
Yes, the wizard. Yes.
I'm saying I know how to utilize social media to do things for me. Anyway, whatever. Moving on. So if you guys need to get a hold of the Atomic Ass, go ahead, share your information, Atomic.
You can find me on Twitter at the Atomic Ass. That's pretty much the only thing I really pay attention to. I'm on Facebook and Google Plus and all that good stuff, but I don't really go there that often.
A wizard whore.
Wizard whore. Hey, if you want to call me the wizard whore, go for it. I'll be Ubu the wizard whore just for you.
Ubu the Horror Wizard.
The Horror Wizard. Okay. All right. Osiris, what about you, bud?
Find me down there at Osiris, and that's the best place because too much social media make you retarded.
Any social media make you retarded.
And I don't mean that as a jest towards actual slow people. I have to make that disclaimer because there's people out there. Anyhow, find me at Osiris. Just talk hardware, specs, and all that good stuff. Overclocking, water cooling. I like all that stuff.
Yep. And Osiris is the audiophile as well. And
yes.
Atomic has also dabbled in audio. So
yes, I actually do.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, I actually have 2 albums out that you can find on Bandcamp.
Really?
Theatomicass.bandcamp.com.
There you go.
Downloading now.
Shameless plug.
That's going to be my new Borderlands soundtrack.
Absolutely shameless.
Between all three of us, guys, the point is, between all three of us, we do have a Swiss Army knife of knowledge at our fingertips. And,
it's called Google.
No, it's not. Not for me, it's not.
Yes, it is.
Oh, man. Anyway, all right. Thanks, everybody, for coming. That's going to be a wrap for episode 17 of Linux Tech and Gaming. I hope to see you next Wednesday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. And until then, happy Linux gaming.